Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Randy Wilson, IGT consultant. As you guys probably know by now, with IGT, we're a wholesale telecommunications broker helping companies save money on telecommunications by going wholesale, lower your billing, increase your optimize your infrastructure, your telecom or communications infrastructure, and increase customer service from your telecom carrier. We represent all carriers around the world, including here in the US. All carriers, no matter what size your business is, no matter what size your billing is, we can help you. Now, here's the crazy thing about what I want to talk about today. And I think it's kind of one of those things where if you almost feel like it doesn't need to be said, but I guess in some cases it does, especially when it comes to wholesale telecom, because many people don't really know that this solution exists out there in the marketplace. A mentor of mine told me a long time ago, he said, Randy, and he was talking to a big group of people, but it felt like he was talking to me. He said, the business of business is to make money. If you are not profitable, you will not be in business for very long. It's not business unless the business is making money. Okay, let's just get that one right out there. So, when you really think about it, what are all the efforts? What are all the strategies out there available to people to try and keep profit, make profit, save profit, increase profits? All of this is associated with, expense versus profit. How profitable are we? And, oftentimes we see companies out there looking for ways to increase profits by decreasing expenses. Of course, you want to increase your profits through marketing, obviously through sales and all these kinds of things. The alternative to sales profits is actually lowering expenses, right? So if you can lower the expenses, then the profits that you make technically are increased, right? More of the revenue that a company makes can be considered profit if the expenses are as low as possible. Of course, to lower expenses, what do? Sometimes we downsize our company. We will do layoffs and things like that, or we will hold off on some of those those projects, right? Sometimes those funding initiatives will kind of take a back burner. Sometimes we have to decrease research and development. Sometimes we have to take away some of the benefits to the employees, whether it's health insurance or the company car, right? There's all these efforts to sort of, trim the fat, they call it, right? Trim the fat to decrease expenses so that the revenue that a company makes, more of it can be considered profit, right? And so I know I'm not telling you guys something you don't know about, especially some of you guys that are in the executives of a company. If you're in the executive group of a company, these are the high level boardroom meetings that take place where we have to gather all the heads of the departments, all of the executives, and we have to talk about this thing called expense versus profit. How much of our revenue is profit versus how much of our revenue is going to expense. The avenue or solution that we should be looking at here is telecommunications. So communications is something that every business needs, right? Every single business. Can you think of a business that doesn't need phone and internet in this day and age, in this marketplace, anywhere in the world? Without this critical, fundamental piece of business, then business does not exist. But this fundamental piece has a built-in cost And on a retail level, this cost could be pretty high. It could also be increasing depending on how far you want to grow your business, how complicated or how intricate your phone and internet situation is. This could be a huge expense for your company. We're talking to one customer right now. Their monthly billing is over $26,000 a month, and that's just for phone. That does not include internet. Okay. So when you look at a company, sure, it's all relative, but let's face it, guys, phone and internet could be, for the average company, large company, whatever, it could be a huge expense to a company. And why not target that expense as where we find our reduction of expense? Why not target that? Why not find where we can reduce our costs, potentially increase our it's the effectiveness of that solution, optimize it, right, and decrease the cost of it, and recognize that this critical piece of our business is the one piece that's going to take us into the future. AI, wireless, everything, right? Who knows? Robotics, automations, all these things, surveillance, all of this is dependent and reliant on telecommunications, and is the great picture of the future for a lot of companies out there. And this is an expense that we, as a company, you as a company probably spend excessive amounts on. When's the last time you had your services and your infrastructure audited to make sure that you are efficient and effective with your telecommunications services? When have you had anyone sort of be your friend in that area of your business, that critical area of your business? When have you had someone on your side look at the expense of telecommunications and then offer solutions and alternatives to make sure that you reduce those costs so that more of your company's revenues is considered profit? Okay, so this is a little known secret, if you will. I guess that's why they call it secret. But in this day and age, you have to think outside of the box. Think outside of the box. Target areas of your business that are probably not your typical areas that people target for reduction of expenses, and consider wholesale telecommunications as the solution that you're looking for. There's so much there. I don't have enough time in this particular video to go through all the benefits, but obviously if you've seen my videos before, you know that there's a lot of benefits to going wholesale. But for the sake of this video, reduce the expense of telecom so that more of your revenue can be profit.